Thank you for choosing to listen to the Recruiters Recruitment podcast this season. We're so grateful for your continued support, and I just wanted to share this message across our whole global community as we conclude another phenomenal season with guests from everywhere across the industry, from those who are starting up their own businesses to those who supply into the recruitment industry and to those who have been in the sector for a very long time and have grown through corporate businesses and have exited. Hopefully you've been inspired. Hopefully you've learned something in each episode. And above all else, we hope you've enjoyed each guest's different perspective and have learned something and have been able to take something away. All that we ask as we continue to book in what we think is the most exceptional guest list in the recruitment industry podcast world is that you subscribe and follow on your specific channel that you choose to listen to. Remember to head over to YouTube as well, because that's where we share all our clips and all our video. And make sure you're following us on TikTok and Instagram as well for all the little clips and updates on future events, because we will continue to try and bring you live events in your area and in coming months and years. I also wanted to leave this message because it's always great when people ask to come on the show or recommend guests to me. We have a really nice blend of those that I've reached out to and those that are actually listeners, like you are now, and have decided to put themselves forward. So if that's the case, the key things that I look for are people that are happy and comfortable to talk on a video call, because we record everything in Zoom, because that way then I can expand to a global market, are happy to share their insights, appreciate it is not a pitch on their business, but also understand that people want to learn from their vulnerabilities, from the mistakes they've made, but also from the successes that they've had. That's all I look for. I look for leadership. I look for people that are inspiring and people that exude everything that I think stimulates and excels our industry above all else in the economy, which is inspiring people, creating best practice, and doing the right thing by people all the time. I also wanted to leave this message. There's lots of reasons why I'm doing this message. I want your feedback. We would really be keen to know which guests particularly have stood out to you. We love getting messages of support. We love getting messages, saying, I've listened to this episode, it's great. We do share that then with the guest. It's always nice for them to have the feedback as well, to have it as testimony. We can only improve our channel if we get the feedback from you. Our analytics are really helpful in terms of telling us where you're listening to us, but they don't particularly tell us about who you are or where you are in your career. So I think it's really important that we get that feedback and that we can continue to book in guests who maybe would be beneficial to you and your cohort of peers, basically. So make sure you drop us a connection request. If you're not already following me on LinkedIn, make sure you're following the Recruiters Recruitment podcast across every social media channel, maybe not Facebook, but LinkedIn, Instagram and TikTok in particular. And make sure you're following us all over the podcast world and YouTube as well. But thank you so much. On behalf of my amazing team, I want to also thank them, Shannon Rowland, who I couldn't do this without, and also to Nicola Bull, who is a fantastic assistant to us. And again, is a very important part of the Recruiters Recruitment podcast team. So a big shout out to them as well, and to you, our listeners, our community, without whom none of this would be possible. And this is the reason why we do this week in, week out. So thank you so much for joining us, and we look forward to bringing you a fantastic new season with some exceptional guests from across the recruitment industry and beyond. So thank you for listening, and this has been the Recruiters Recruitment Podcast.